Warning. 8:33 time kindly informs you that this production contains spoilers for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, so it'd be best to click off of this video if those had yet to see the movie. The movie can be found on Disney+. Viewer discretion is advised.
Avengers Next Generation The Telebook 2 is the sequel to My Little Pony Next Generation The Telebook, taking place 3 months after the original story. Production is set 10 years after Avengers Endgame. Compared to the original Telebook story, there is a lot more detail and hidden secrets hidden in this production. So, without any further ado, let's go behind the scenes to discover the surprises ahead. The iconic 20th Century Fox logo. This iconic masterpiece has appeared on cinema screens for decades and is probably one of the most recognizable standout sequences, with its shining searchlights, golden structure monument, topped off with a beautiful evening sky. This is set in Los Angeles, California, given the Hollywood sign on Mount Lee in the distance, but you weren't expecting to see this at the beginning, were you? Surprise! I do have a bit of explaining to do. You see, after production on Ghost of the Past, which got inspiration from Skeleton's Revenge, I had some plans made for a sequel to My Little Pony Next Generation The Telebook. Back then, I had a thing for including the 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning. The reason why I included this was because I didn't want this to be left out. I felt like it would be wrong to start anything off with the 20th Century Fox logo. But hey, that's just my opinion, but I would like to sincerely apologize to the studio. The company has inspired me so much that I don't know what I would do without it. I even went as far as to subscribe to their YouTube channel. Seriously, I will link their channel in the description. Oh, what's that? You probably didn't see this down there, did you? Well, if you did, you have excellent vision. Even if you didn't. Yep, that's a billboard for saving the defunct Blue Sky Studios, which was shut down during the coronavirus pandemic. Press F to pay respect. However, despite its closure, I still made a promise and I will not break it. Moving on, we have the Marvel Studios logo. However, this time, there are some altered takes. Instead of seeing the comic book flip pages like you would normally see, one of the searchlights pans down and turns towards the camera, giving a similar scenario with Fox Searchlight Pictures, which just so happens to be the sister company of 20th Century Fox. Established in 1994, while its sibling was formed in 1935 through a merger, hence the name, Fox Searchlight Pictures produces independent films and is much iconic for his appearance in the indie film industry. I recommend you check out some of their movies, but most of them aren't for younger audiences. Just a heads up. Anyway, after the transition, we get to see the familiar superheroes who come in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And yes, I snuck Bernie Sanders, just for humor. I imagine it would be funny if someone actually put him in there. The audience would go nuts. Instead of seeing Captain America shield, you get Deadpool dabbing. I just wanted to add in some humor there as well. Now for the actual Marvel symbol. I included segments from the Wolverine, Avengers Infinity War trailer, Thor Ragnarok trailer, Iron Man, and X-Men The Last Stand. I gave credit to, of course, to Marvel. If I didn't, that would make me a bad person. Yes, I even included a Disney byline. Sorry, Scarlett. Now, this byline would normally go on the 20th Century Fox logo, but I made arrangements. When the logo fades, you'll notice that the A stays on screen for a second longer, given how in the X-Men films, the X in the 20th Century Fox logo stays on screen for a second longer before fading away. I just wanted to reference it. The entire introduction sequence was animated with Blender 3.0. If you don't know what Blender is, it is a CGI animation program that is free for download. You don't have to pay for it. It allows you to create your own CGI animations for free. You can create your own characters, set up your own design, produce an introduction logo for a company, you name it. So, we start off in a forest environment. Why not, given it's part of the story? Wait, was that Rainbow Dash? You might ask yourself. Yes, it was. But how could she be in it when she's not even part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, like I said, this is a sequel. Hey, even Deadpool's in this. Great for him. I'm just glad he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wait, if he's in the MCU now, does that mean that the X-Men fans were secretly part of the MCU the whole time? That is a very possible theory. The answer is, your guess is as good as mine. Good, profanity was censored. Why else would this channel be PG-13? The language part, that was all referenced from Avengers Age of Ultron. Seriously. Even Twilight's in this. X marks the spot. This might remind you, some of you, of those pirate movies. The audio used with Rainbow Dash digging was the snow shoveling audio I got from YouTube's audio library. I'm not joking. Wait a minute, is that the Tesseract? Given its shiny blue appearance, it does look like it, but no. The opening title music is original. Originally, I did intend to do the title score from Avengers Age of Ultron, but I don't know what changed my mind. Or even animated the title sequence with an older version of Blender. Creepy how the text changes color, huh? Nice, a beach environment. You'll notice that I've put in a lot of detail in there. Yep, that's Hawkeye, originally portrayed by Jeremy Renner. The animation on the glowing cube of magic, I used the default cube in Blender. It was easy, really. I gave it a glowing cube appearance. There's a tutorial on how to do it. I will link in the description. So much cityscape. You'll notice that one of them says Zane's. I must have named it after my cousin. He's a nice kid. So much realism involved. You'll notice that when Raina and Helena's eyes move, the reflection of light stays in one place. CGI realism logic. Do I want to work for Pixar? Maybe. I do know that they have their own courses for new employees. I find it to be a struggle, though I have been looking at some Blender tutorials. I would appreciate if Pixar had a platform for remote learners. Anyway, yes, Falcon is wearing a United States t-shirt. This is due to the fact that he is the new Captain America. Congrats on the promotion, by the way. Isn't it fitting that the MCU and My Little Pony are in the same universe? It would be fitting. Yep, like I said, Falcon is Captain America now. Wonderful. This is a new Avengers facility I came up with. It's not actually part of the MCU. It was built as a replacement for the other facility after... Raina seems to be very amazed by the facility. Just as Helena closes Raina's mouth, it drops back open after a few seconds. I just wanted to add in some humor. Oh, Bucky, you're ringing the doorbell. Classy. Anyone else getting some vibes? Luca! See what I did there? That was a joke, obviously. Just an appropriate one of that. A nicely decorated bedroom for kids. Just out of kids were visiting, I would do something family friendly. Captain Curious is going through a hallway. This can only mean one thing. Foreshadowing. See that lady back there? She looks familiar. That's because it's Helen Cho from Avengers Age of Ultron. Yep, that was definitely a statue of the original Captain America. Just felt like paying tribute. Pony eyes are back! When Discord snaps an ice cream stand into existence, there's a familiar thing slightly off screen. Hey, it's Korg! A mysterious temple linked by a bridge to the facility. Realistic shadow. Tell I did a boatload of realistic lighting. Enter Kryosumio, our main villain this time around.
Yeah, just delivering them to a nearby orphanage.
At least Pinky has a kind side to her. Anyone else hungry for cupcakes now? In case case you're wondering what's on the plate, it was a quesadilla. And the Avengers logo can be found everywhere. A lot of detail of Long Beach, California. RMS Queen Mary, a historic landmark, dark as a hotel and tourist attraction since 1967. Humor with the robots dancing in investigation mode. Hey, it's the same ship from earlier. That's the RMS Patriotic, inspired by the RMS Titanic and Ukraine, while it is under attack by Russia. The Patriotic travels on voyages across the Pacific Ocean and sends supplies to Ukraine. It even has a similar design to Titanic, given the number of funnels. Of course, Titanic wasn't the only ship I based this on. I was also inspired by the France, Norway, Normandy, and the planned but unfinished RMMV Oceanic, which design was originally for funnels, believe it or not. I like the first design. It would appear these people are at a ship construction site. One of them looks suspicious. New character introduction! This is Durna.
Hey guys, what's up?
She is a teenage enthusiast who has a thing for exercise and even plans to work at a production studio. But which one is it? You'll know soon. She's very kind. Yup, John ended up getting stuck on the Queen Mary's second funnel. If the ship had 4, not 3, he would be in the third funnel. Two characters flying in the sky. Generation 4 Rainbow Dash. I did this animation of her before Generation 5 was announced. Lighting coming from her computer. Like I said, realism. Too much dark lighting and shading. That's what happens when you want to make it look cinematic. This is Norm, an ancient warrior from long ago. He will be getting his own theatrical film sometime soon. Falcon is wearing a shirt that is blue on top and yellow on the bottom because Ukraine, get it? Send support. Discord being chaotic again. Realistic eyes, almost like mirrors. I used the same tactic in my staring contest video, link in description. Realistic pony eyes, right as Twilight walks in. That's an original Marvel character who's an X-Men mutant. That's exactly what Ryan Reynolds would say, obviously because he's Deadpool. That is Ubergirl, of course. I changed it up because I didn't want her to look inappropriate. I mean, really, her breasts are clearly almost shown, and that's inappropriate. Get the hidden message? I figured another way to pay tribute to Stan Lee, as he was the original creator of the Marvel Comics. It was obvious! Our first twist villain. Now that's a plot twist. Realistic shading. Realistic cityscape below with the mountain. 20th Century Fox logo overload. Yep, that's a picture of Deadpool taking a selfie with the 20th Century Fox logo. The picture next to it is Raina celebrating the holidays, and the other is Raina when she was a baby. Aren't those adorable? Everybody needs a pep talk once in a while. Where is the lighting coming from? Riding up into the sunrise with a familiar song. I won't play it because it's extending days only. It's about time Raina showed her heroic side other than hiding in fear. That was Demoman 15.ai. Realistic shading again. Get it? Because Applejack has robes and she's always busy booking apples. Anyway, oops, I forgot the freckles! Hey, the white dots are gone. I wonder why. It was kind of obvious that a dimple would have volcanic activity inside. The leap of faith. Good thing War Machine can still fly. Yep, that was Demoman 15.ai again. No one knows exactly how she got the cube. She must have stolen it from the lab. This is the first time Raina would gain superpowers. Also the first time where her eyes lit up in white. She magically knocked Ryazumio down. How can and an arrow not do any damage. Hey, it's the first time showing the Fantastic Four. I was inspired by the design in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I did see in theaters. Familiar quote? You all saw this coming. This is Marvel! The line is fine. It just hit Kyoyo's in the hand, but it didn't go through. It was kind of obvious that was going to happen when she falls to her death. If I showed you the aftermath, it would look gruesome, trust me. For Marvel characters? Yep, that's Rain Sinclair from the New Mutants, which I have no desire to watch. It's Beast, and that's Nightcrawler from X-Men. Spider-Man, man. Oh, the girl in the pink and orange armor, that's Laura from Logan. That's an original armor design. The X, because she's a mutant. Not often a girl can throw a demon down like so. Also, George and John threw the statue. Karma is coming for ya! This was loosely based upon a scene from Mario Bang in the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. The splashing noise was loosely based on this. Sorry, Disney. Hear that familiar song? Yep, that's the graduation march. Here are some very familiar characters, such as Dr. Eric Selvig, Ant-Man, Okoye, Doctor Strange, Maria Hill, and even Professor X. Mutants can't die. Yep, that carrot there, that's Miles Morales, the next generation Spider-Man. I've noticed some of you like this character, so I decided to give him a small cameo. SpongeBob and his fans are there too. Nah. There's Ritamin. There are a few more characters I will reveal soon, despite having already revealed their names. There are also some more attendees, like there's Ferdinand the Bull. Nice to give him a cameo. And there's even a similar girl next to him. Yep, that's an adult version of Nina, the little girl from Ferdinand 2017. Beside her is Veron, an original character who appears in the fan-made sequel Ferdinand and the Emperor of Terrorists. Link, of course, in the description. Thor's there too. Those are the Hayamuso Generals. That's the second time Reina received glowing eye treatment.
That was a joke.
That was a reference from Free Guy, obviously. Not often you see a kid T-posing on the bow of the Titanic. So much realism in this shot. Anyway, thanks for participating. I know, FanFest took me over a full month to get done. Well worth it. If there are more hidden secrets I forgot about, please kindly let me know. Yeah, I know. Still surprised about 20th Century Fox receiving credit in a Disney fanfic? Well, I can probably tell how some of you felt about the 2019 merger. My goodness, this could purchase anything. Anyway, see ya. Ha! You just got sheep burped.